right now. And who can do no wrong either is Keith Thomas. I'm joined with Keith here. How are you, Keith?
Fantastic, thank you, Dawn. What a build-up.
Oh, he's finally here. So we've got Keith in here this evening, and we are talking about hidden disabilities. So, Keith, I'm going to start off with take us back to the very beginning. What happened with your health before surgery, and when did you realise something was seriously wrong with you?
So everything came to a head when I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2008. If you don't know what ulcerative colitis is, it's similar to Crohn's disease. A lot of people know what Crohn's disease is. My bowel decided to try to perforate in 2012, and I had a 10-hour operation to receive an ileostomy, which is another form of a stoma, and I've had it now for nearly 14 years.
That's incredible, and it's been life-changing for you, hasn't it? How quickly did things change for you, and what led to your decision to actually have the stoma, like sort of in sort of, you know, is being the only option, was it?
It literally was the only option, was to have a stoma to save my life. There was no other option really. It was that or not be here, and I'm so glad I chose to have my ileostomy, and it has been absolutely life-changing. I was back in work in 6 weeks after a 10-hour operation, and I've never looked back, honestly.
That's literally incredible story there. And people often imagine that the physical side of it, but what was the emotional side of the recovery for you?
Yeah, for me, it was fine because I had struggled for quite a few years with illness, to the point where I couldn't leave home, I couldn't go to work. I would sometimes get up for work, get to the top of the road, soil myself in the car, go back, have a shower, and you just decided then, do you go to work or do you stay home? And I just stayed home. I had the worst employment record ever. And it just changed my life. It gave me that freedom to actually live my life properly in a positive way and leave home and go to work.
Literally, I can't imagine like what you've actually been through on that one. So, you know, when you're looking back at it now, sort of, and you're looking at hidden disabilities, like a stoma is literally a hidden disability, isn't it? And people can't see it, although if they're following you on the socials, they see it literally every day. What's his name? Homer?
Homer the stoma.
Homer the stoma, yeah.
Not everybody gets to name their stoma or want to name their stoma, but I named mine from day one because me and my boy were always watching The Simpsons.
Oh, sweet. And so, like, you know, part of it being a hidden disability, people can't see it, but how does it affect your daily life? Like, what do you wish that the public could understand about, like, having a stoma?
Yeah, so there are many forms of hidden disabilities. They may be physical or they may be mental illnesses. They are still hidden disabilities because you cannot see what somebody is going through. Now, with mine, if you saw me, if you were looking at me right now, Dawn, unless you knew I had an ileostomy or I had a stoma, you'd have no idea. So a lot of people do get trouble using accessible toilets, where if I walked into an accessible toilet looking like I'm looking now, a lot of people judge for no reason. You know, you see me coming out there and the first thing somebody would think is, why is he using that? He's not disabled. This is another reason why disabled toilets, we tend to call them accessible toilets now, because they are accessible to every single person without question, and nobody else should question why you were using them. Unfortunately, a lot of people do, but hopefully with a bit of education, it will stop one day.
I mean, you know, that's all we can hope for, isn't it? Because it's literally, you know, you get the side eye of, like, you know, when you're walking out and stuff, and it's, you know, it's something that is critical for you and just for your mental health and well-being going forward, isn't it?
Absolutely. I wear a bag on that's literally glued to my stomach 24 hours a day. I cannot switch it off. It works 24 hours a day. I don't even feel it because my stoma has no nerves. But if I get a leak in my bag or anything like that, I need a big toilet to go in there and change my bag. Now, I couldn't do it in a normal toilet cubicle because first there's no bin in there's no shelf, there's no mirror. I wouldn't even be able to see what I'm doing. So we have to use accessible toilets basically because of the size of them and the equipment they have in them.
Well, it's and the facilities actually to be able to sort of dispose of it as well, isn't it? Which is absolutely incredible. Right, I think we need a song, and the only song I can think about for you is the Electric Light Orchestra and Wild West Hero. How do you fancy that?
I love that.
I am very privileged and honoured to have Keith Thomas here. Social media, a wonder, praising and raising monies and making sure people are aware of hidden disabilities. Yeah. So already, Keith, we've already found out like the huge journey that you've been through having your stoma installed and stuff like that. But when it comes to helping others, you do a huge amount for other people, from raising awareness and supporting new stoma patients. What drives you to do that?
I think it was the fact that after my operation, I became so well. And I just made it my mission to try and help other people who were going through stoma surgery or had a stoma and actually not coping with it. Now, there are two sides to having a stoma. One is the physical side and one is the mental side. And you generally find that people do struggle with both. But I'm quite happy to go and sit in a cafe with somebody who's had a stoma or somebody who's facing stoma surgery, sit in a cafe with them, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, and just chat to them and try and put their mind at ease that at the end of the day, having a stoma will probably save your life, and it will actually change your life. If you let it, it'll change your life for the better. My life is absolutely fantastic. I have an ileostomy. I have type 2 diabetes. I went out for a 5K run this morning. Do you know what I mean? It just gave me my life back.
And I think you've probably already answered my next question, but if someone listening tonight is struggling silently with a hidden disability, what would you want to say to them?
I would say, look on social media, especially Instagram. I'm on Instagram at KeithTom2014. And not only that, I work with a lot of other ambassadors who are young, older. None of them are as old as me. But I work with a lot of people, and we are just there to listen to you. You can DM us. That is absolutely no problem. We don't give medical advice. We will tell you about our stories and how we've coped with our stomas. And we will let you have a rant or whatever you want. Just get it out of your system. But we are there for you. You are not the only person having a stoma or going through surgery. There are literally thousands of us. And we are all there to help you.
And I can imagine it's very difficult for, some of the younger generation going through that, because some people are, in their teens having these stomas put in. So it must make it really, really difficult. Keith, looking back now at everything you've been through, your illness, the surgery, the recovery, what are you most proudest of?
I'm most proud of my family and the way they supported me. It's fantastic to have the support of your family, especially my wife, Jane. She has been there through the illness, through the mood swings, because trust me, when I was at my very worst, when I was ill with my ulcerative colitis, it changes you. Illness changes you. I was absolutely horrible. I was horrible to people. I didn't want to see people. I locked myself away in the bedroom. I would sometimes pretend I was a lot worse than I actually was, just not to socialise and see people. But that's not me. I'm a people person. And I came out of it the other end, but I had the support of my loved ones and my family, and that makes such a difference.
Incredible. And if you could go back and speak to a version of yourself, Miley Cyrus now has coined the song herself, isn't it, of younger you. Sort of when you're looking at yourself who was scarred, unwell and facing surgery, what would you tell him right now?
I would tell him, you are going to have an absolutely fantastic life. And that is what I've got, an absolutely fantastic life.
Oh, I mean, that's just incredible, and what a way to end. And thank you so much, Keith, for joining me. I know you love Queen, and I've got a feeling this next song that's coming up is going to be an absolute scorcher. This is Breaking Through, and I think, I think it sums up your life a little bit.
I think it does.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dawn.